Hi, welcome to Snow Better Lifestyle. My name is Donna, and if you are new here, I will be 61 in March. I raised 6 kids, ages 27 to 39. They will be 28 to 40 by the time this year is out. I work full-time for a tech company, and I am on a health journey. I've been on a health journey since November of 2023 when I was put on Mounjaro because my A1C was 10, which is now 5.7, and I had high blood pressure, and my blood pressure is normal as long as I'm taking the Mounjaro and my lisinopril. I am down 70 pounds since I started, and this morning I got on the scale and I'm 241.2, and I just took my shot. I will put what number. I lost track of which shot it is. I've been taking the 5 milligram Mounjaro since last February, so it feels like I'm near 50 shots, but I will double check and I will put that up in text because I can't remember. Okay, so I have been on this journey for a little over a year, and like I said, I'm down 70 pounds. And I mean, there's not a whole lot. This week was its usual. I did go into the office. I go into the office twice a month. I was able to work out a deal with my boss because they wanted us back in 3 times a week, and that's not feasible for me. So I did go into the office the one time. And I wanted to talk to you today. Let me get my notes about the 3 things that I learned in the last year being on Mounjaro. I have been on 5 milligrams the entire time, just about. I was on 2.5 in November of 2023, and then I went on to 5 milligrams in February of 2024. And so there were like 3 things that I want to talk to you about that I've noticed over the last year that have helped me on my journey to go from 311 pounds to 241.2 pounds. So one of the first things was that consistency and patience led to results. So it can be really frustrating to be on a weight loss plan and then see everybody around you is losing faster or more. I know there were quite a few people who are already at their 100-pound weight loss when they started in the same month that I did. But for me, it's just been really mind-boggling that I am down to the weight that I am down to because of the decades of trying to lose weight before. So being consistent and patient. Patient is the key word here, because it can be, like I said, it can be disappointing when you get on a scale. Like I didn't even lose a pound this week. I went from 242 to 241.2. And at first I was a little sulky. I was like, oh, I wanted to get down to 240 pounds and I'm 241.2. But then I stopped and went, oh, you lost 70 pounds. You know, you are not 300 and something pounds anymore. And so for us, as we're losing our speed of weight loss, it's really hard not to look at someone else who's losing faster. But as I've mentioned before, we are all so different. And the medication, we respond to the medication in a different way. So keep that in mind and don't compete with other people necessarily, you know, just on your own, as long as you feel like you're doing what you need to do. And even when you have down days, just turn around and pick yourself back up and you'll be fine. So, yeah. One of the things that I think there may be mistaken people think is that Mounjaro taking the shot gives us an unfair advantage, we still have to work just as hard as we used to work in terms of how much, what we eat and what types of things we eat and whether we get exercise. We have to do all that stuff. The only difference is that the medication that we're taking helps our brain and helps us to not eat more. Like the story I told you about how I got, I only ate half the burger, or, our portion control, it's a lot easier or better. I shouldn't say easier, but a lot better to manage that portion control when we are taking this shot on a regular basis. Controls for those of us who are taking it for type 2 diabetes, it controls our insulin, it controls other aspects. And so, try not to measure yourself against the speed of other people. And I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest, there were times during this last year when I was like, I'm not losing fast enough. I'm not losing fast enough. So-and-so is already at 80, 90, 100 pounds. I've got someone that's in one of my support groups who is absolutely fantastic, and she's lost at least 20 pounds more than I have in the same amount of time, starting at the same weight. We can't do that to ourselves because this medicine is a game changer, and we need to use this medicine as a tool to help us get to whatever it is that we're striving for. So consistency and patience led to results. It was consistent. I was patient. There were times when I wasn't patient, but most of the time I was patient. So keep that in mind if you're just starting, or if you've been on it and you're getting frustrated, that you just have to just keep going. I mean, once I hit 250, which was my first goal, once I hit that, then I realized it's actually going to happen this time, and so it does help when you get to a certain, depending on how much you have to lose, you get to a certain point and you're like, oh, this is working. The way that I'm eating, the way that, I'm taking my meds every week, how much water I'm drinking, or any, other aspects of it that, so I lost my train of thought, of course. But yes, so consistency and patience, it leads to results. So just be consistent. Listen to your doctor, listen to your body. Don't listen to all the stuff around you that's trying to tell you you're not doing it right. So, and then, okay, so I'm reading this so that it gets my brain going. Mindset matters as much as the medication. So medication like Mounjaro can be a powerful tool, but the journey requires a mental shift toward self-care and prioritizing health. Understanding your relationship with food, building confidence, and celebrating small victories along the way are just as critical as any physical change. So, like I said today, I got on the scale and I was just a little bit boo-boo kitty, just a little, I really wanted to get to 240, 241.2, what? And I told my kids, and my oldest daughter says, NSVs, Mom, NSVs, non-scale victories. There's been so many other things that you've accomplished that isn't that number on the scale. I mean, it's really hard not to look at that number on the scale, or look at that BMI, or look at that, whatever it happens to be you're measuring. Some people are measuring, what their waist is. I lost 1 inch of my waist, or I lost 2, or their measurements. So some people are using that as a guide, or they're using whatever their clothing size is. So keep that in mind. It's something I have to keep reminding myself, is that your mindset and accepting those victories, they don't necessarily have to be on the scale. I get on the scale every Saturday just to make sure I'm still going in the right direction. That's about all it is. But every once in a while, when I'm feeling a little off, when I get on the scale and it doesn't give me what I really thought I had done this week, like I drank a lot of water, or I ate blah blah blah, or I did this or the other thing, or I got an exercise, I got some exercise in, and then the scale doesn't tell me that's what I did, I can't let that bring me down. In the past, before I started taking Mounjaro, if I was on a diet, whatever diet that was, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, whatever program, if I had a bad day, if I was going on a specific, strict type of diet, you have toast in the morning, you have this and that and the other thing, you can't have more than X, I would wind up, if I went off, let's say we ordered in something and I ate 2 burgers instead of 1 burger, then I would just go off the rails, just off the rails. I blew it. I'm done. I'm not, that's it. I don't have the willpower. I'm stupid. Let me kick myself. Somebody else want to kick me, So that was my attitude before. So yes, mindset definitely matters as much as the medication, because my mindset before I started taking Mounjaro was, if I ruined or blew or didn't follow through on whatever plan I happened to be on, then I would wind up, I would give up, throw my hands up and kick myself for what I'd done, what I had done. It had nothing to do, we had no idea that the reason why we didn't have the appetite suppressant, or the reason why we had this food noise, was because of something going on in our body. We were always telling ourselves it was our fault. We didn't have the willpower. How come so-and-so can do it and we can't do it? So I think that it's really important to have the mindset as well, and celebrate the non-scale victories. Non-scale victories need to be celebrated. And that is a hard thing to do when we have been so focused for so many decades on what your number is on the scale. And like I said, the reason I do get on the scale every Saturday is just as a gauge. Am I heading for that particular thing? Is this where I want to go? And learning to accept the other things in our lives that are being changed, like the A1C, like the blood pressure, like being able to put on a size 20 jeans. I put on a size 20 jeans this week. Like being able to walk all the way down the airport when you couldn't do that before, when you were able to go from one place to the other without being in back pain. So those things are things to celebrate, and the scale is just like a marker, a guide. BMI, I don't believe that BMI is as crucial as the way you feel and the way your clothes fit. That is my feeling. Everybody's different, and everybody's body makeup is different. So your being a BMI of 20, 25 is going to be different than my being a BMI of 20, 25. So keep that in mind when you're shooting for that number. Look at the non-scale stuff. The non-scale stuff, the feeling better, the looking better is a big deal. Okay, so lastly, that support systems are essential. So for the last year, I started back in November of 2023, I started following a couple of the people that were on GLP-1s. I had just had my shot. I just had my medication prescribed. I was watching a lot of people on, how to do the actual shot, because I was terrified, like I mentioned. And I also joined a couple groups, a couple supportive groups, and watched and listened to people, especially learning about the side effects and things like that. And if I ever run into an issue that maybe my family won't understand, or a friend won't understand because they're not on a GLP-1, I know that I can go to these groups that I've selected over the year, to ask a question, or even read about somebody else having the same problem and coming up with a solution. So I think it's really important as you're going through this process that you, in fact, engage with those communities. Again, you can lurk if you want to, but being a part of a community can really make a difference. I follow a bunch of people. I subscribe to quite a few people who are on this journey at various stages, at various ages, at various beliefs, at various, various doses. But each and every one of them has something to contribute and can make you feel better about your journey. Because it's not an easy journey. I mean, there's just too much misinformation out there about the fact that this is easy. It's not easy. It's not easier than what we went through before, in the sense that we still have to watch what we eat. We still have to do exercise. We still have to go through the process. The only difference is that we have a medication that will help us with that cravings and the food noise and the appetite suppressant, things that we didn't have, that just kept knocking us off the rails. I mean, that's the key right there. It wasn't that we didn't know what to do. We all know what to do. Eat less, right? Do exercise. We know this already. We've been told a gazillion times. I'm 60. I was overweight at 12, 13 years old. I've been through everything you can think of. I was thinking the other day, my dad's mom, who she actually went through shock treatment. They had a shock treatment for a while where that's how they helped women to not eat, which I thought, oh, okay, well, good thing we don't have that anymore, So we have been through this sort of thing where we were trying to manage and control our weight for quite a while now. So this is definitely not a new thing. But having this medication is helping those of us who do have those challenges, who do need the help with appetite suppressant, who don't have that thing that tells us stop eating, or tells us we're full, or turns off those cravings that we've always had. And to be honest with you, I still enjoy food. I still enjoy food just like everybody else. The only true difference is now I'm able to portion that, and I'm able to stop eating. I still have another 65 pounds to go. I'm down 70. I'm shooting for 175, and we will see what happens. But it's been really eye-opening for me this year. At first, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I didn't take it serious. But ever since I got that one moment after I took my shot, it must have been about 12 hours after I took my first 5 milligram shot, I went, oh, what is this feeling? So that feeling is what has helped me, along with making dietary changes, along with, getting some exercise, along with other aspects of this that we were doing already, has taken me from lose some weight, gain some weight, lose some weight, gain some more weight, and then gain some more weight, and then gain some more weight, and then lose some weight, gain some weight. I mean, so many of us have been through that. So take heart. You'll be able to do this. You got it. Listen to your doctor. Listen to your body. And each and every one of us is different. So the way that you do it is going to be different than the way that I do it. And it's going to be different than the way that the person next to me is going to do it. But we will all get there. So I appreciate you guys. I will see you next week. And have a great week. Bye-bye. Oh, and don't forget I always do this. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed this, and please hit subscribe if you like this type of content. Okay, bye-bye.